Hello everyone, welcome to my channel, or welcome back. Thank you so much for being here. My name is Caterina, or Cat for short. In today's Pick a Card reading, our topic is, what changes will you see in your life before the new year? Once you choose your card, you can find the timestamps in the description box below, which will take you to your reading. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Please remember that is the only way to book any of my services with me. If anyone ever reaches out to you, just know that that is not me. All right, today I have 3 world cards laid out from 3 different decks, and this is how you will choose your group today. And I chose the world because we're looking at the changes that you'll see before the new year. So this is just kind of representing the time that we have left this year and then the new year. So this is a timeless reading though, so if you're watching this after I post this into a different year, this can still represent the time left in that particular year, okay? So you can watch this at any time if you're drawn to it. So let's go ahead and get into your cards. For group number 1, you have the World card from the Black Tarot, and you also have the green Fluorite point. For group number 2, you have the World card from the Light Seers Tarot, and you also have the Lavender Fluorite point. And for group number 3, you have the World card from the Everyday Witch Tarot, and you have the Rainbow Fluorite point. Please take your time choosing your card or cards. It's perfectly fine to choose more than one card if you're drawn to more than one. The most important thing is that you listen to your intuition, and I'll see you in your readings. Hello, group number 1. You have the green Fluorite point, and your card is the World card from the Black Tarot deck. So I'm going to put this back in the deck, and we're going to start off with your oracle cards. All right, what can you tell us for group number 1, please? What changes will group number 1 see before the end of the year? Okay, anything else, please? What else does group number 1 need to hear? All right. Oh, wow. So you have the Star card with spiritual rebirth. This is amazing. Look at this energy. So I definitely feel like something is aligning for you before the end of the year. It's something that you've been working toward, and I feel like it's bringing you a huge sense of fulfillment, but also like a huge relief. It's like, I feel like, oh, it's finally happening, and now I can start the new year with this new energy. That's how it feels. And so I feel that this could also be bringing money in for you, because if you see this right here, it almost looks like a pentacle. I'm not sure exactly what it's meant to be, but how I'm seeing it right now is that is a pentacle coming out from the soil. So you could be coming into money. You could be accomplishing something also. With the Star card, I feel like you're getting recognition for something also. So accomplishing something, getting recognition, this could be at your job. This could be something that you've been trying to create for a while. Some of you with the Star could be going viral if you have like an online business or like a product or something. Something could go viral for you. If you are in any sort of creative arts, you could be getting huge recognition or selling something, like selling a book, selling artwork, getting a huge like role in a movie or something like that. So it doesn't have to be creative, and it doesn't have to have anything to do with work. You could just accomplish something that you have been working toward. Like you're hitting some sort of goal before the new year, And with the vessels overflowing here, it literally flows into the next year, this energy that you will have. And it also, did I say this? It also says spiritual rebirth. I was so excited that you got the star card for your first card that I think I forgot the spiritual rebirth. And so I really like this toward the end of the year because it's just like, I truly feel that you're starting the new year with such a positive energy. And I feel that whatever this is, I feel that you've just been waiting and waiting and waiting to see something happen. And then finally, it's like the star in the sky is shining so brightly. And it's just, I feel that your heart is full. Your soul feels a little bit lighter than it was before. And there's some sort of excitement. I mean, obviously, but it's like prolonged excitement based on whatever's happening here. All right. Oh, this is interesting. So you have Jumbi, total disruption. So it's number 13, which is the death card. So this is very, very interesting because here you have spiritual rebirth. And then here, this is like a death and a rebirth. Okay. So some of you may have had some sort of stagnancy going on where you weren't seeing this thing happening here, right? And so it looks like it's going to be happening. And with this total disruption card, it's very positive. This is a positive disruption that's happening in your life. I feel also what this is bringing into your life is a sense of peace. Like I'm just feeling calm and peace that comes over your entire energy. And I feel that's why you're having a spiritual rebirth, because it feels like something was stuck. It feels like there wasn't, like something wasn't moving. And with this star card, when you accomplish this, then you were in an uncomfortable situation. So it could be that you were in an uncomfortable situation because you were waiting for something to happen. Maybe you were having difficulties financially because remember this pentacle really stood out to me. So whatever situation that was very uncomfortable that you were in as you were waiting for this spiritual rebirth, that is what is coming to an end, okay? So things are going to get much, much better for you, much easier for you, okay? What else can you tell us for group number 1, please? What changes will group number 1 see before the new year? Is that 2? Yes. Okay. Oh, wow. So you have grasshopper spirit, take a leap of faith, and number 30. See, you have a new beginning because, you know, number 30, like you're starting something new. Because 29, like that's the end of a cycle, right? So don't be afraid to dive right into this star card. So do you see what's happening? So you're getting, I feel what's happening here with the star card is that this is an opportunity. This is something that you've been waiting for, and it's changing your entire life. Now, there does seem to be a little bit of fear attached to this, okay? Because you have the death card here and you also have take a leap of faith. So there's a fear in, even though this is something that you want and something that you have been dreaming for and hoping for, it's still scary, okay? Just because it's going to change things drastically. But what I'm feeling is that it's just a little bit of fear. Well, I mean, it might be a lot of bit of fear, but what I'm feeling is that it's not going to stop you from jumping into this new beginning, okay? And so I feel like there's huge changes going on for you, but it's so positive. Do you see the grasshopper has a crown? So you're winning at something. Remember how I was talking about you could be going viral or like getting an award or being recognized for something? Whatever this is, it's literally jumping you into this new beginning with the grasshopper spirit. Like you're literally hopping into this new beginning. What else do we have here? So we have number 3, set healthy boundaries with armadillo spirit. All right, so I feel with number 3, as you get into this spotlight, as you achieve something that you've been looking for, something that you've been trying to achieve, you know, here with the Star card. And as you go into this new beginning, what Spirit is saying with set healthy boundaries is that you want to make sure that the excitement doesn't doesn't overtake your sensibilities, because I'm seeing that there is a lot of excitement here and you will be going through a lot of changes. And remember, with that fear that I talked about, you want to make sure that you are of sound mind, that you know what you're doing, especially if you're signing any contracts. Make sure that the excitement doesn't take over your sensibility. So you want to make sure that you are taking a leap of faith into something that has good faith with it. Okay. So just set healthy boundaries so that you know what you're getting into. Check the fine print with everything. And I feel that that's really all you need to do. Just make sure that everything checks out. Okay. But I really feel like you are going to be in such a comfortable position, and I feel you're really going to enjoy this new beginning. Okay, I'm going to take one card from this deck. What else can you tell us, please, for group number 1? What changes will group number 1 see before the new year? Okay, I feel like it's this top one. Trine, auspiciousness, positivity, and luck. Look at that. So you have luck, positivity, and you have the Star card. I feel luck is on your side, especially with this new beginning, but especially with setting healthy boundaries. There's something about this where I feel you're coming into your power. Oh, that's what it is. I felt like there was something I wasn't quite seeing with this. Okay. You're coming into your power with the Star card, with the spiritual rebirth. And I feel that you're becoming powerful, like spiritually, but also when you go from here and then you encounter situations beyond this point, I feel like you have the ability to say no to things that you don't want to do, and you have the ability to wait for those things that are exactly what you've been looking for. Does that make sense? All right, what else can you tell us for group number 1, please? What changes will group number 1 see in their life before the new year? All right, I'm going to set these down because this deck is kind of big. Okay. Oh, wow. Ooh, interesting. So you have the Moon card. Look at that. You have the Moon right below the Star card. That is so cool. So what this is telling me is that something that you have been waiting for, something that you intuitively knew would happen, but it hadn't happened yet, it's happening. Okay, so this is just confirmation of what I said with the Star card. So definitely you want to listen to your intuition. And I am picking up something with creativity here. So there could be a creative solution to a problem that happens that leads to this Star, that leads to the spiritual rebirth. You could definitely be, being recognized for something like I mentioned earlier. But I feel like there's definitely a new path that is opening up for you. And I feel that, remember, I felt just a little bit of fear earlier. I feel like there could be a little bit of fear attached to this because it's kind of like, oh my gosh, where is this going to lead me? And so there's excitement mixed in with fear, okay? But what Spirit is saying is that everything seems to be lining up for this dream that you have, this goal that you've wanted to accomplish for a while. And so Spirit says just, go down this path with positivity in mind. Because I feel that, okay, what I'm picking up is that some of you may be overly cautious because you're wondering, because I think like it took so long for this to happen. Now you're kind of like, oh, can I trust this? Is it, is it going to last as long as I hope it does? So it seems like you're maybe overly cautious, and Spirit says be cautiously optimistic instead of overly cautious. Okay. So that's what I'm seeing with the Moon card. What else do we have here? Oh, you have the Star card again. That is just amazing. Wow. I feel like you're celebrating something. You're accomplishing something. You're celebrating something. This is definitely a new phase, a new cycle. Look at all like the moon phases here. I feel like it's a breakthrough. I really do. You're having some sort of breakthrough, or you're breaking into some kind of industry or career, or what, what? I am hearing some of you are selling a book. And I think that came up in another reading. Maybe, I don't remember if it was a week ago or 2 weeks ago or whenever it was. But I feel like someone watching this is selling a book, and this is further confirmation for that. So, okay, that's very specific. But it's kind of like, you can think about it like that metaphorically, because it's kind of like that. It's something very, very significant, a very significant accomplishment that you're making, that you're going to be celebrating. 2 star cards. That's amazing. All right. And now you have the High Priestess. Well, this is really interesting because there is so much intuition going on here. So I feel that a little bit of the intuition, what that's pointing to is the healthy boundaries, because I feel like there's going to be a lot of people drawn to you based on whatever this is, the Star card. I mean, I feel like something very big is happening, and I feel like your name is getting out there in one way or another. And so that can bring in future opportunities, but it can also bring in some not so great characters, right? Because you're getting this recognition, you're getting this like popularity or something like that. And so if something doesn't feel right in the future, just know that it probably isn't right, and it is okay for you to say no to things that don't feel right to you, okay? You have earned your spot with wherever it is that you are. And so if someone approaches you with an offer or an opportunity, you don't have to accept that, okay? No matter what it is. So this could be, for instance, let's say that you get a job and this is like your dream job. And then you're there for a little while and then you get this offer for a promotion. If it doesn't feel right, you don't have to accept that, right? And maybe there isn't any, negative ulterior motives, but maybe it's just something about it just doesn't feel right. It's okay to say no and wait for the next opportunity, okay? If you are, becoming an author, if you sold your book, and you have like a 1 book deal. So this is your publisher, you sell the book, and then you're ready to sell your 2nd book, okay? Because now you have popularity. So if a different publisher comes to you and has an offer for you that doesn't feel right, it is okay to say no to that, okay? So kind of those type of situations. So you can kind of plug your own situation in there. But there's huge transformation because it looks like there's a butterfly right here. So obviously we're seeing transformation because you have 2 star cards. It's huge. You have the death and rebirth card here, and this rebirth is massive with the 2 star cards. It's really, really big. So with the High Priestess, just listen to your intuition, stay grounded as you go through this process. And you're going to figure it out as you go, because there is something a little bit hidden here with the Moon card and the High Priestess, but I'm feeling like you're going to figure it out as you go. I feel like there's really no other way to do this. Just figure it out as you go. Oh, wow. So this is the Daughter of Coins, and this is the Page of Pentacles. So you absolutely have a new opportunity coming in for you. Could absolutely have something to do with work or money, or like feeling grounded in a situation where you were previously ungrounded or you weren't sure of your footing, things like that. Like something wasn't quite secure yet. Something is becoming very secured. And like I said, this is below set healthy boundaries. So as you go forward, as these new opportunities come into you, it is definitely, or, you know, offers come to you, it is definitely okay for you to take your time, analyze things, make sure everything feels right. But yeah, you're really starting something new that has an amazing foundation where it's just going to keep growing, whatever this is that you have going on. And then you have the Son of Wands. Wow, so this is the Knight of Wands. See, there's something going on here where it's like creativity, something you have a great passion for, but it's like you're diving right into something and you are, what is it that's trying to come through here? So you're diving into something which is your passion, right? But there is also something about not going too quickly because of this excitement that you have. It is connected to set healthy boundaries. And also the Daughter of Coins here, like I said, that's the Page of Coins. And so there is something about being swept up in the moment and making sure that when these secondary opportunities come in after this first one, just make sure that you are aware of everything that's going on. Make sure that you're aware of definitely contracts. If you're signing contracts, look at the fine print, things like that. And I mean, it's nothing to be worried about. You just want to make sure that, you know, have this excitement, but when the new things start rolling in for you, make sure that you're not just so excited because, oh my gosh, now I'm getting all these other opportunities, I'm just going to say yes to absolutely everything. You don't have to do that, and you probably don't want to do that because then you can burn out, or someone could, you know, sneak a little clause in the contract or something that's not to your best interest. So just be aware of that. But absolutely, I feel you're diving right into this passion that you have. And I feel that it's going to bring you a lot of just amazing things. I feel like you're meeting new people. I feel there's new energies around you. I feel that you could even be making purchases or something like that. If there's something that you've always, you know, wanted to buy for yourself, something really nice, like kind of like a reward or something, I feel like that's something that you're also going to be doing. Oh, and here's your World card. I love that for you, especially this World card, because you see this person is tending to some flowers, putting water on them, and there's a lot of growth here. So definitely this is going to follow you into the new year and beyond. And I feel somehow you're breaking a cycle that you were in. It seems like you were in a cycle of tending to things and waiting for something to happen, because with a total disruption here, but here you have, tending to the garden here. I feel like you were putting in a lot of effort into something. And what is breaking down is all of that effort when you weren't seeing any rewards yet. Okay, so all your effort is going to continue, but instead of doing it and not getting anything in return yet, now you're doing it and you're getting a lot in return, especially with these 2 star cards. And so I think it's reviving your spirit. It's giving you like a revival of your positivity, because it feels like you might have been in kind of like a slump, like feeling like, oh, I'm just kind of feeling a little bit down because I'm putting in all this effort and nothing is happening. Okay, that's going to change for you. The Lover's card. Okay, so remember how I was just talking about you were putting in all this effort and you weren't receiving anything in return? This is confirmation of what I just said about that, how that is changing. That is why you have the total disruption card here, because now your effort is going to be rewarded. Look at all the butterflies. around you and around this new situation that's coming into your life, okay? Huge, 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 huge transformation is coming into your life. You're going to love the, all of the positive things that this brings you. And I feel there's a lot of emotional balance that's coming in here. I also feel there's something about synchronistic events that could be happening where everything just kind of magically comes together for you. And especially where before you didn't see opportunities with the Moon card, now you are seeing opportunities. The Mother of Baskets, wow. This is the Queen of Cups. So there's just an abundance of what you've been looking for. And I feel all of these cups back here, the jars and the vessels, we can call them. I feel like these are opportunities. Because remember I was saying that you can say no to things because there's going to be more opportunities coming in for you, so you no longer have to say, oh my gosh, I just want the first thing that comes in. That is over for you. So you have this abundance of opportunities that will be coming into your life. And I feel also that you have like this sense of comfort. Remember I was talking about how you can purchase something that you've always wanted? I feel that's kind of the energy that's going on here also. But it's like, I also feel like you're nurturing something and you are growing something. And the first star card, it's kind of like a snapshot of future, of like, this is going to be repeating for you somehow, this level of success. And there's so much balance in your life at this point, because before things were off balance, because remember I told you I saw you kind of doing something over and over and over again, but you weren't receiving anything for it. So it feels like you were really striving to make a name for yourself, or striving to get something off the ground, or trying to break into a new career or something like that. And so now you have that. And now I feel that you've been recognized for something. And these opportunities are all around you. You can pick and choose what you want, but you're also like nurturing ideas about, okay, where do I go from here? Things like that. And so I feel like there's a lot going on here where you're kind of settling into feeling comfortable in this new being. Because remember I said before that you may kind of question it and be like, oh my gosh, is this gonna last? Well, I feel by this point here, you start to be more comfortable within the situation. And I feel that you are very grateful, very happy, very proud and secure. But there's also something going on here where you might be helping other people or something like that. I feel like somehow you're giving back to the community, you're giving back to people that you work with or something like that. So because I feel that that's something that has always been in your heart, but now you're at a place where you can actually do that and kind of give back, maybe give back to someone or give back to others, because like somebody lifted you up, somebody gave you an opportunity. So I feel that once you become comfortable in this situation, then you kind of want to do that same thing for someone else. And I feel that's part of your spiritual growth, your spiritual rebirth, because I feel that this spiritual rebirth that you're going through is so significant that you're just like, oh my gosh, I want to help someone else who's in the situation I was in before I got here. The Hierophant. Yeah, see, this is kind of what I was just saying. It's like you have this knowledge now, you have this skill, you have this recognition, and it's like you can teach other people, you can lift other people up somehow. Something like that seems to be going on here. But you're very, very accomplished. And I feel also that there's a lot that's changing, because I'm feeling that you're establishing this new life for yourself. and it's something that's getting bigger and bigger and bigger, but it's very, very sturdy. Whereas before, because remember I was talking about that, how before you just worked and worked and worked and didn't see any reward, and then you were a little worried about, oh, you know, is this something I can trust? Yes, this is something that you can trust. This is something that is going to be very reciprocal. And I feel that there's some sort of like spiritual enlightenment going on here. Definitely a lot of soul growth. I feel like you're hitting very specific goals that you were meant to accomplish before the end of the year, but also just in your life in general at this particular time. And then we have the 7 of coins. Yeah, see, it took you a while. You were waiting for a while. And I feel that there's a lot of emotion that's coming with this, a lot of gratitude. And this is just the beginning. So I feel that, you know, once you get this star card, once this happens, I feel that there's so much going on in your mind. And I feel that you're planning your next steps. And it's interesting that you have the 7 of coins, because in a lot of 7 of coins in different decks, it will look like this pentacle right here. You'll have like pentacles coming out of the soil, out of the ground. And so it's interesting that the 7 of coins actually came up in your tarot cards here, because this is just the beginning for you. Okay, I feel that you have done, like you've taken the proper steps to get to this point. And what I'm seeing is that you will continue to take the proper steps going into the future beyond the end of the year, especially because you have this world card here, which is showing you literally tending to a garden, tending to these flowers, which is the energy that I'm feeling with the 7 of coins. And I feel that setting healthy boundaries is coming in with these 2 cards, where you're going to continue setting these boundaries as you go forward. And so Spirit says it is perfectly fine to take things slow, to evaluate things, to contemplate things before you say yes or no to any future opportunities. So take your time. If there's anything where, you know, there's a very strict deadline where somebody says, well, I can only give you 2 hours to think about this, perhaps that's going to be a no, or should be a no, because you don't, like I said, Spirit is saying you don't want to rush any future commitments based on your excitement. So here we have the Ace of Knives, so, which is the Ace of Swords. So it's very interesting, the energy that's coming from this card, because you see all the buildings back here, okay? And then this looks like a tree, so it looks like there's like wind or something like that. So I feel like there's going to be a lot of new opportunities that are coming into your life, and you want to think about those very critically. See, this is coming up again, and it's coming up in the same spot that it came up before here with the Knight of Wands. Okay, so and you see how you have set healthy boundaries? This row right here is talking about the exact same thing. So, you know, I already talked about that, but just if something doesn't feel right, it's probably not right. Just remember that as you go forward, because I feel like there's a lot that you're going to be learning about this new situation. Maybe you're learning about negotiation, or learning how to communicate in this new world a little bit differently than, you know, some sort of skill that maybe you haven't had yet, but you are going to be developing this skill. And it seems to have something to do with talking to people, communicating with people. Now, there's a lot of luck, a lot of synchronicities coming in also with people that you're going to be meeting because of this recognition. But on the flip side, there's also going to be people coming in who don't have your best intentions at heart. And so you just want to make sure that you look at everything and look at things from every angle. Okay, but yeah, you're going to be fine. You're going to do great. All right, what is the last thing that we have? The 5 of Knives. Oh my gosh. Okay, so this is showing that all of that hard work that you put into something, it's paying off for you. Okay, I feel that some of you may have had a point in this situation where you were going to give up and walk away, okay? Because it felt like it was taking too long, or it felt like things weren't going to happen for you. But I feel like you have your fighting spirit back, okay? Definitely with spiritual rebirth. I feel like any doubts that you had, because remember I said you're kind of tiptoeing into this situation after the excitement wears off, and you're like, oh no, is this gonna last? Is someone gonna take this away from me? And so I feel that that's part of the spiritual rebirth, where you're actually feeling like, no, this is real, okay? And going into the next year, I feel like you're really coming to terms with letting go of any negative thoughts that you had, okay? And I feel also there's something about going into the new year with take a leap of faith, where maybe you're having a second opportunity come in shortly after the new year, and you're taking a leap of faith with that and trusting in the universe. But yeah, it's definitely going to work out for you. For sure. This star card and any new opportunities that are coming in after the new year. So definitely Spirit is saying to trust, okay? Understand that luck is on your side, and there's going to be a few synchronistic events that are happening for you. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, Group 2. You have the Lavender Fluorite point, and your card is this World card from the Light Seers Tarot. So I'm going to put this back in the deck. All right, what can you tell us for group number 2? What changes will group number 2 see before the end of the new year? All right. Ooh, wow. You have the Goddess Circle Wheel of Change. That is amazing. This is the Wheel of Fortune in the tarot deck. Excuse me. Excuse me. So anytime, if you haven't seen my readings before where that happens, when I kind of cough or I lose my voice, that means that something that was stuck needs to become unstuck, or you need to release something, something like that. And it happens out of the blue. I can't control it. Just all of a sudden I start coughing or I lose my voice. And so I feel like something that was, something was stuck for you. I feel that's changing. Your luck is changing. And look at, you have the 2 snakes here. So it's kind of like a rebirth is happening for you. I feel like you've outgrown a particular situation and things are changing in your favor. Also with number 10, you're at the end of a cycle, which is so interesting that, we're looking at what you can expect, what kind of changes are happening before the new year. And so it's almost kind of synchronistic the way that you're getting, like, these changes are coming about in your life just in time for the new year. So I feel like the new year is really going to usher in a continuation of whatever is starting for you before the new year. Or it could be some of you, this is happening toward like the end, like the very, very end of this year. And then you're going to enjoy the benefits of this in the new year, but we'll see as we go along. All right, so we have the Deviant, Chaos, and Destruction. So this is the Tower card. So what this is telling me is that this period of this, I don't know if it was bad luck or a cycle that you were going through, this is breaking, okay? This is changing for you. And you're going into this much, much better cycle, okay? Much better cycle. I feel that surprising things could be happening for you. Something out of the blue could be creating this wheel of change here. Why do I feel like some of you could be coming into a lump sum of money? Some of you could be meeting somebody that's changing things for the better for you. You know, I mean, that could be anything from, you know, it could be anything from work to getting a loan to, you know, somebody saying something to you, which is exactly what you needed, like a piece of a puzzle that is solved somehow. So I am really curious to see what else you have. All right, what else can you tell us for group number 2, please? Group number 2. So you have number 29 and see the big picture. I feel like you are seeing the big picture. I feel like that's exactly what's happening. And it's interesting that this is 29 because that is showing that you're at the end of a cycle, right? Because you're about to go from 29 into 30, and then you have number 10 here. So I feel that's confirmation that this is coming to an end. And so see the big picture could be definitely connected to the chaos and destruction card, where if certain, because I feel like certain things for you could be falling away, which then all of a sudden, like immediately after, opens up this new opportunity or this change for you. So something that on the surface doesn't look like the best situation is happening for you, I feel like, I mean, it's almost immediate. It's like this happens and then bam, all of a sudden Spirit is like, nope, see the big picture here. And then this happens, okay? So interesting. I feel like there's something else that wants to come through with this card, but I'm not sure if it's going to come through right now. Something about what you're going to see. Well, let's move on. I'm sure it will come through once we move on here. Okay, so we have number 68, Wombat Spirit, and Be at Home. So with Be at Home, I feel like you're going to literally feel much more comfortable than you have been feeling for a while, because I feel like this was your energy kind of where things weren't working in your favor and things just felt off balance for you. Okay, but when you have this Wheel of Fortune coming in, I feel like you feel more comfortable. You feel like you can relax. And there's also a sense of safety and stability that comes in that you did not have here. Okay, so if you're still in this energy of chaos right now and going, you know, as we slide toward the new year, just see the bigger picture and understand that, oh, tap into your intuition. That's what it is here with this card. Try to tap into your intuition, because Spirit is showing me that if you tap into your intuition, there's something about the chaos that will make sense. And you may even know that this chaotic situation that you're in is not good for you. And so you may have this feeling like, you know, maybe this chaos is happening to bring in better things for me. And Spirit says if you do have that feeling, definitely listen to it, because that's the universe trying to tell you that, yeah, things look chaotic now, but it's ushering in much, much needed change. And so as much as possible, try to stay grounded as you go through these changes and try to understand that you are very protected and that nothing is going to be like nothing with the destruction, nothing is going to be destructed that is worth saving, right? So not everything is going to be in chaos. There's just certain pieces that need to be changed in order for you to walk into this new cycle. All right, what else can you tell us? I feel like this card wants to come out. So what do we have here? Trine, oh my gosh, auspiciousness, positivity, and luck. This is so interesting because group number 1 had this card, and the first 2 cards here had a very similar energy to group number 1. Now there is an overall different energy that I'm picking up that it seems to be different than group number 1. So we'll see as we go along, but if you're drawn to it, group number 1 might have some information for you. But here, auspiciousness, positivity, and luck, what I am picking up for you is that what I was saying, only with a little more added detail, this chaos and destruction, okay? I feel that this is actually leading to synchronistic events. So that's why you need to see the bigger picture. Because there's something connected to this chaos that you're not seeing yet, okay? So Spirit says just hang in there. Hang in there. It's all going to make sense. So let's say, for instance, that, and I'm going to use the job of, or the example of having a job, just because, you know, everybody can kind of relate to that. So let's say you have this job and your company closes. Okay, that could be causing all of this chaos, but Spirit is saying, hold on, relax a little bit, see the bigger picture. And then all of a sudden, you either realize what your true calling is in life because, you know, you aren't working for a short period of time, or then this company that you've always wanted to work for has an opening at the exact same time, okay? So that's what I'm saying with these synchronistic events. But yeah, it's ushering in this time of positivity and good luck for you. What else can you tell us for group number 2, please? What changes will group number 2 see before the new year? I feel like these two want to come out. Okay, thank you. What else can you tell us, please? All right. What else, please? Okay. The 9 of Pentacles. This is amazing. You are achieving something really, really positive here. Something that you've been hoping for. Something that you have been, I feel, something you've been looking for. Okay? You are accomplishing it. There's also something coming in here with money. Didn't I say that earlier? Some of you might be coming into like a lump sum of money or something like that. Yeah, that's definitely possible. So do you see how the chaos is leading to something really, really positive? And not just that, but this also corresponds to be at home, because this is a very comfortable card, the 9 of Pentacles. It's a very grounding card, okay? It's like your hard work is paying off here. And for some of you, as you're coming into this success here, there could have been something with this chaos card that did not deserve to be in your energy field when you reach this level of success. Because, you know, when I look at this person, okay, there's such a vibrancy to the energy of this person. Do you see what I'm saying? Like, there's no room for this chaos here, for this darker energy. So you really want to make sure that you're seeing the bigger picture, that you're thinking long-term with things, because this is a long-term situation. However, this is not a long-term situation. So what I'm seeing, and I'm going to try to say this the way I'm seeing it in my mind, is that why, like, you don't want to bring something into this amazing, beautiful situation that is long-term. You don't want to bring something that is short-term into this, and bringing something in that short-term is fine, but something that is a negative short-term, you don't want that in here, okay? Because it could taint things, and it could make things, it could just kind of dampen the excitement and dampen the accomplishments somehow. So we have the 3 of Wands. Oh my gosh. What you have been waiting for is coming in. It is your time. So I feel that, why am I seeing someone writing something? I'm seeing like writing something in like a note, excuse me, a notebook or something. maybe some of you are, let me see, hold on. What is this? Can you tell me what this is, please? What is this writing things down? Oh, some of you are manifesting. Some of you were writing something down on paper because you were manifesting it, or it was like notes about something that you're working on. But either way, I feel like you are really manifesting something. And so here what we're seeing is that it's coming true, okay? A lot of hard work, a lot of focus that you put into something. I feel like there was a lot of forethought that you put into something, and you're receiving exactly what you deserve. With this Three of Wands, the wait is coming to an end, okay? And I feel that there's something about divine timing, okay? There's something about luck and timing that I'm hearing, especially with the Wheel of Change here, the Wheel of Fortune. This is something, an event that is like fated to happen before the end of the year for you. It's just like written in your soul code. Yep, see, the Six of Cups. This is something that you've been waiting for a while. And I feel that there's something very interesting that happens about the way that you receive this. Because the Six of Cups is connected to the Chaos card, okay? And again, this is the Tower card in the tarot deck. And remember, I think I said this earlier, where it seems like something happens very quickly after the chaos happens, right? So the Tower happens, and then all of a sudden you have the Wheel of Change, like immediately after, okay? And so with the Six of Cups, sometimes I get the energy that something is falling in your lap, something unexpectedly happens. And so do you see how it's happening here? How it's connected, these unexpected events? So I feel that this unexpected chaos or negative situation, it's walking you directly into something that you've been hoping for a long time. And whatever this is, see, I keep getting this energy where it's very comfortable. It feels very safe. You feel like you can trust this. You feel like this is exactly what you've been looking for, and you're feeling a lot of energy coming back to you. So you're receiving a lot from this situation, and it's bringing you a huge sense of fulfillment. Like, I feel like there's something that is being healed in your life, because there was something that was kind of empty. And I think it was just this longing feeling that you had for this particular thing to take place in your life. And I feel that's exactly what's happening here. The Knight of Cups, yeah, you see this? So with this Knight of Cups, you're literally going after something that has been a dream of yours, something that is making you feel very, very happy, very satisfied with something. And so I feel that you have been looking for this situation, and I feel that this situation is coming toward you, okay? Because I feel kind of like with the Wheel of Change, I feel you and the situation were kind of on opposite ends, but as this chaos takes shape and certain things fall away, what's happening is this wheel is turning and certain things are coming together. Do you see how these two people are together here? And so I feel like that's what's happening. And what you have been hoping for, it's taking shape here. Slowly but surely it's taking shape. I do feel like this energy, it's slow moving, right? But going from the chaos to the Wheel of Change, this part happens very, very quickly. I feel like it took a long time to get to this point. And then moving forward, I do feel like it is a slower moving energy going forward, but the thing is that you feel very, very comfortable now knowing that at least you're standing inside this energy and that everything that you've been waiting for is slowly but surely coming toward you. So we have the Empress card here. That is amazing because you have the World card here. Or not the World card, but the World. So it looks like the Empress is pregnant with the World. And so I feel that there's a couple things going on here. This is confirmation that you're at the end of a cycle, okay? Absolutely, we talked about that earlier. So it's confirmation of that. but you're also about to birth something. Like something is about to appear in your life that is going to bring you so much joy, so much happiness, fulfillment, whatever. It's like exactly what you have been waiting for, exactly what you have wanted for a very long time. The Five of Pentacles, yeah. So, you know, I feel like this makes sense because, okay, first of all, I feel that when this chaos happens here, I feel that this is how you feel, okay? This is kind of a visual representation of what I was seeing with the chaos card, where something happens and initially you're quite devastated about the situation. And that's why you need to see the big picture, because the big picture back here is that there's a key here. And on this door, you have the Five Pentacles. And so all you need to do is see the big picture, look around, and see that this destruction led to this amazing opportunity here, which is the Wheel of Fortune, okay? And then what's right below the Wheel of Fortune, you have the Nine of Pentacles. So this is some sort of massive opportunity for you, or coming into some kind of windfall or something like that, okay? So I really feel that you're going from feeling lost and confused to being right at home in a new situation, being in a situation which is exactly what you've been looking for. And within this new situation, that's where you're literally giving birth or walking into this new opportunity that we see coming through with the Empress card. See, you have the Death and Rebirth. This is exactly what's happening with the Chaos card, okay? And yeah, it's going to be uncomfortable as you go through this, but what Spirit is saying is to trust in the process. Trust that there was something going on within this Chaos card that I feel it was holding you back from your true potential. And some of you may know that, but you had a fear of change, or you just didn't know where to go from there, right? And so what I'm seeing is that if you didn't take the steps to move on from this situation, then the universe is going to take control and is going to remove you from the situation so that you can open this new door, okay? Now, some of you may have known that this situation needed to come to an end, but you didn't know, like, okay, well, if I end the situation, then what? Okay. And so you may not have seen the big picture until the universe made this kind of crumble, okay, before you felt like you were ready, but then you're forced to see the big picture, which is this new opportunity over here, okay? So kind of everything that we've already talked about is what's going on with the Death and Rebirth card. So this is actually a very, very positive thing that's going on here. I mean, these two cards, this could literally be the Death card and the Rebirth here that we're seeing within this one card. All right. The Queen of Swords. Yes, 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 because you're seeing the big picture here. Do you see how the Queen, it looks like she's up almost like on top of a mountain or something like that? That's how I'm picturing this here. And do you see how this Death card here, the Death and Rebirth card, represents these two cards, and then this Queen of Swords is representing the giraffe spirit with see the big picture? So you're seeing the big picture right before you open this door, right before you go into this new situation, which is bringing in so much positivity into your life, okay? So things are coming together. Look at how the Queen of Swords is right below the Three of Wands, where you're starting to see your future coming together. And I feel that what happens is you start to, when you see this big picture, right, it's like you start to wake up to things that were always there, but you didn't see them before because you were so distracted by the chaos of whatever was going on here. So you're kind of opening your eyes. You're seeing what you weren't seeing before. And then from there, I feel that you're kind of picking yourself up, grabbing this key, unlocking this door, which unlocks the Wheel of Fortune. The Four of Pentacles. Okay, so a couple things with this Four of Pentacles. I feel, like I said earlier, some of you were afraid of change. Some of you didn't know, how to make change. Some of you felt that you might as well stay in the situation because you know what to expect. But if you cross over this fence right here, or this railing, whatever you want to call it, you don't know what's waiting for you over here. So I feel that there was a little bit of fear that was keeping you attached to this situation. But the longer you were in the situation, the more this chaos grew and grew and grew, and the more uncomfortable you became. But once you let go of control, okay, because you won't have a choice when this happens, right? And so it's important that you let go of control so that you can walk into this amazing new situation that's waiting for you. And I am getting something about money coming in for you. I mean, definitely I was getting that with the Nine of Pentacles, but I'm feeling like with the Four of Pentacles, you could have a fear of change because of your finances. Like maybe you don't know if your finances will get you through to this, until this new situation opens up for you. So maybe you're worried about your savings, about depleting your savings, or maybe you don't even have savings. You could be worried, maybe, let's say if you're going to change careers, you may be wondering, well, am I going to make enough money to get by when I first, land in this new career, or when I land in this new job? If I'm going to have to start from the bottom and work my way up, is that going to work for me? Or maybe you're going to take a leap of faith and start your own business. Do you have the finances to get you through? So it seems like you were holding on to something connected to a fear, and it could have something to do with money. It could have something to do with just feeling unstable with starting something new. But Spirit is saying that this stability that you're trying so hard to hold on to, you actually don't have that stability in your current situation, okay? But this new situation, you're going to feel at home. So you will have stability, you will have comfort, you will feel like the sense of longevity with this new situation. The Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, so it's a process, okay? What you're stepping into is a process. And I just keep getting this feeling that this is something that you have wanted for a very long time. Some of you have been manifesting this and you've been striving toward this particular thing. And for you, this chaos, it's going to be a welcome change for you, because this is what is ending, okay? The chaos. There's something about the situation that you're in. It feels like every day you're worried about, is something going to fall apart, or am I going to make it through this? Or it seems very, very delicate, almost like you're throwing an egg up in the air and you're hoping that you catch it, because if you don't, it's going to crash and it's going to break and then it's going to cause this big mess. Okay, obviously that's just a metaphor, but I feel like it's that kind of fragile. But what's happening is things are coming together, okay? So I feel from now until the end of the year, the things that are changing are you're slowly but surely starting to see things come together. And it could definitely have something to do with career, or something that you've been working on, a project, something like that, or just feeling safe and secure in some sort of new environment. Things are coming together for you where you're seeing, like now and in toward the end of the year, you're seeing that things are taking shape and they're solidifying, whereas before you didn't see anything. And here we have the Knight of Swords. So with the Knight of Swords, Spirit says that you can definitely go into this new situation with open arms, okay? You can trust that this new situation is meant for you and that it is definitely going to be much, much better than a previous situation. So what's happening here, I feel what you're looking for suddenly appears, okay? Because with this Knight of Swords, I'm feeling like you have been out here in this field and you've been looking for a way out, okay? Just like this Five of Pentacles is kind of stuck here looking for a way out. Although this particular person isn't really looking, right? Because they're so distracted with the fact that they're stuck here. And so I feel there's a similar energy going on here where you're kind of stuck somewhere, but then all of a sudden these synchronistic events are happening and then here's this bike, okay, obviously metaphorically speaking. And so you're running toward this new opportunity, this wheel of fortune. I feel like this bike is literally representing the wheel of change here because you can change your environment with this bike. If you get on it, you can go wherever you want, right? So there's definitely something about your environment itself that is changing. Some of you are traveling somewhere. Some of you are moving into a new home, moving into a new career, a new job, new opportunities around new people. But I definitely think this this motorcycle here is representing you running toward a new beginning. Okay, especially because it's right below the Empress card. And I feel there's such a sense of excitement here. This is something that you have been waiting for, and I really feel it's going to change the entire dynamic of your environment somehow. The Nine of Wands. Okay, so it's interesting you start with number 9 and you end with number 9. And then remember, here was see the big picture, you have 29. And so I was saying here was see the big picture that you're at the end of a cycle, okay, for sure. And we're seeing that here, okay. Roadblocks that you had, they're coming to an end. Do you see how easy it would be for her to just walk over this fence here? And do you see how easy it would be for this person to get up and grab the key and open the door? So answers are appearing. Things seem to become easier for you. And I feel there's just like one thing that you need to do, or maybe two things, because this person would need to put both legs over the fence, right? But I feel that you're very, very close to releasing stagnancy, releasing things that were holding you back, including a thought process. So for some of you, this chaos could be representing something that was going on in your mind where you weren't seeing the solutions to your problem. And it felt like the world was kind of closing in on you, like the walls were closing in on you. And so what could be happening here is suddenly you're seeing the big picture, you're seeing the solution. And so what is coming to an end could be this anxiety that you are feeling in your mind. And then you're seeing the solution and you're feeling so much better and you're ushering in this change with the Wheel of Fortune. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing here. Spirit says to close out that you're very, very close to the end of a cycle. You're bringing in positivity and good luck. You're bringing in money, opportunities, something that you've been waiting for is coming in. Don't be afraid of this change, okay? This is a very, very positive time for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching. Hello, group number 3. You have the Rainbow Fluorite point, and this is your World card from the Everyday Witch Tarot. So I'm going to put this back in the deck, and we will go ahead and start with your Oracle cards. All right, Spirit, for group number 3, we're looking at what changes group number 3 will see before the end of the year, please. Okay, I think you have 3 cards. Okay, so you have Mother of Water, number 30, emotional self-care. Well, that's interesting. So I feel like changes that you will see before the end of the year, I feel like you're going to be taking better care of yourself, paying more attention to like listening to your body, listening to signals that you're getting, signs that you're getting. So definitely, I feel this kind of starts from the top down. So what I mean by that is I feel that you could be having some sort of stress or feeling overwhelmed with something. And I see you like maybe taking a salt bath or doing something relaxing, kind of putting yourself first. Definitely putting yourself first. And then so when I say top down, I'm also seeing like nutrients. So like feeding your body with either healthy food, supplements, or doing something that really feeds your soul. So maybe if you have a hobby or you know, something that you haven't been doing lately because you've been so distracted with other things, I feel like you might be picking that up again. Okay. So definitely I feel like you're trying to take better care of yourself and of like your spirit kind of in general. And then I feel like it's much, much needed. And I keep seeing rose quartz. So maybe you are healing your heart. Okay. There could be something that needs to be settled within your heart. Okay. What else? Wow. So then we have creature of water with creative expression. Remember I said just a second ago how I feel like you might be picking up a hobby again or doing something that really feeds your soul. And so I'm definitely seeing that here. And I feel like you're kind of, so you're putting yourself first, but I just feel like you're looking at things differently. You seem so much lighter than you were prior to starting this whole process. So you're definitely paying more attention to yourself, your needs, and there's something else here. It's not coming through yet. So it will come through, it always does, but you know, this is making me think of like painting or something like that. Doing something really relaxing that's like for you, for yourself. Wow. And now you have the chiefess, strength tested. Do you see all of this kind of feminine energy? And it doesn't matter, you know, if you are female, male, you know, whatever, watching this, it's that nurturing, caring energy where I feel that it's critical that you take care of yourself. It's critical that you put yourself first. And there's something about mental health coming through here where, because I keep seeing building from the top down. So there's something about taking care of the way that you see yourself or the way that you, how do I say it? It's because I'm getting like a feeling and I'm trying to put it into words and it's a little bit difficult. It's basically with that self-care, you're cleansing away something that I feel caused you pain or caused you a great deal of anxiety. And I'm seeing for some of you someone like having a very, very strong argument with somebody that was in your life or maybe still is in your life, but caused a lot of just kind of anguish and feelings that aren't really of your energy. So this could be a personal relationship. This could be something that happened at work, something that happened with family, something that just didn't work out just in your general life. Maybe you were feeling really, really stressed and you just broke down and started yelling at someone who was trying to help you and you felt terrible about that, right? So it might not be somebody directly connected to you, but I feel there's someone that may have been causing you stress or you took out your stress on someone else, something like that. Now, here's the important thing. Okay, so I feel this is when you recognize that you need to take some time for yourself. And taking this time for yourself, I feel like you really do a lot of cleansing and healing. And then you come out of this very, very strong. Okay, very, very strong. This number 8 is the strength card in the tarot deck. And so I feel that you are managing your stress, you're managing whatever caused that stress, and you're okay, right? You come out on the other side of this, whatever difficulty this is here. I feel you also find a sense of grounding. But yeah, definitely your strength is tested, and that's why it's so important that you take care of yourself. Do things that make you happy. Do fun things. Bring some lightness into your world. Okay, so I see that's something that you need, but I see that's something also that you're doing. All right, what else can you tell us for group number 3? What else, please? See, you have number 19, dog spirit, be loyal to what you love. So do you remember how with this, your first card, I was picking up the rose quartz? You need to be loyal to yourself. Absolutely. You need to bring some sunshine into your life. You need to be the one that creates the sunshine in your life instead of relying on other people to do that. Okay, that's what Spirit is saying here. And I feel that that's why you have the wings in the second card here, because you're taking control of your life and you're doing things that make you happy. You're doing things for you instead of waiting for someone else to create that happiness for you, or to create an environment around you. Okay. So I feel like there's a sense of independence and power that you are gaining before the new year. And I feel that, so we have be loyal to what you love, but I feel that your loyalty may be tested, or someone else's loyalty is tested, and you may not like what you see, right? So there could be, because I keep seeing that there's someone involved here where you're realizing that it's kind of like what they said they were going to do is not matching up with what they're doing. And so you're kind of like, okay, whatever, do what you want. I'm taking care of me. So you could be taking a break from someone, or you could be, like, for instance, you could be looking for a new job, right? Because this could be really any kind of dynamic with another person that kind of just set you off. See, that's why your strength was tested. And I feel like some of you were very close to losing your cool, like I said a minute ago, and some of you maybe did lose your cool. Whatever it is, you need to be loyal to you. So then we have Moth Spirit, number 39, and Surrender Now. So this is, didn't I say something like that? Like, it's critical that you do this soon, or something like that. Like, you need to take care of yourself. You need to make sure that you remove any stressors from your life. Yeah. And so I feel like you are discovering that the time is now. I feel like there's something that happens where it's just like this breaking point where there's like a line in the sand and you're like, no. We're not crossing that line. Or somebody does cross that line and you're like, okay, that's it. I'm taking a time out and I'm going to regroup and kind of decide where I go from here. All right, I'm going to take one card from this deck. What else can you tell us about group number 3, and what changes group number 3 will see before the end of the new year? I think that's just one. Okay. All right, 7th house, partnerships, balance, one-on-one relationships. Yeah, so there's something that's out of balance, right? Something that needs to come back into balance. And I feel that this is, partnerships. So that doesn't have to be a romantic relationship. This could be a business partnership, a work partnership. It could be, you know, a employer-employee relationship where you could be either one. It could be family. It could be, you know, any number of things. Maybe you run a business and you're having a problem with a vendor, you know, I mean, it could literally be anything. But yeah, it's definitely been off balance. And although it does seem to be more personal, it feels like this is either employee-employer, vice versa, or a romantic relationship, friendship, family, something like that, where you're saying, you know what, I need a timeout. I can't deal with this right now. And so that's exactly what you're doing. And then you come back into balance within yourself. Okay. And I feel from that point on, you're very, very cognizant of what you can handle, what you refuse to deal with in your life. And so I feel like there's some pretty significant changes that you will be making within the remaining time in this year. But I feel this also carries into the next year, where from now on, you're putting yourself first in a very healthy way. Like I feel you have very healthy boundaries, and I feel that continues for you. What else can you tell us for group number 3, please? Group number 3. Oh, I'm getting a very interesting feeling. Being very nervous about something. I feel it's kind of like being nervous about standing up for yourself. It's almost like, you know, have you ever been really nervous to say something or to get up and speak in front of a group or something, and it's like, oh, your whole body gets kind of tense and you just want to say something and you feel like you can't say it, and then finally you just kind of blurt it out just to get it over with? Maybe you haven't had that before, but that's the way I can put it into words, this feeling that I'm getting. It's very like trying to work up the nerve to do something. All right. So we have the Wheel of Fortune, number 10. Yeah, so I definitely feel like you are shifting your energy. Definitely shifting your energy. So I feel there's certain things that you're no longer allowing to touch your energy field, okay? And when that happens, I feel that you definitely start to shift your energy. Like I'm seeing your energy as becoming lighter, it's becoming softer, and you're more in tune and you're more in touch with yourself. And I feel with the Wheel of Fortune that when you do that, it kind of ushers in all this new energy, because I'm getting like new, like everything feels new. And so if you make these changes and you're a little bit self-isolated for, you know, a little bit, and I don't mean like you're crawling into a cave until the new year. It's more like if you don't want to go out with your friends, or if you don't want to, you know, talk to someone on the phone, you don't feel obligated to do that anymore. And by doing that, it's freeing up this extra space in your life, which is then allowing new energies to come in. And I'm getting like some sort of interesting opportunities to talk to new people. Like what I'm literally seeing is someone going out to like a little cafe or something like that, getting some coffee or some tea or a croissant or something like that, and just happening to be there at the same time as someone else and striking up a conversation with somebody, and then becoming friends with that person, or joining some type of organization or group, or, you know, something like that. So it's kind of like your energy is shifting, but when that happens, you're bringing in more balanced partnerships, relationships, and just people in general. The Nine of Swords. Yeah, because see, something was weighing on your mind very, very heavily. And I feel like you were losing your focus. There was something that was just not quite right in your life. And remember how I was saying about working up the nerve to say something or to, you know, do something. But I keep seeing it like you're working up the nerve to speak about something. And then you have the swords here, which can definitely talk about saying something, thinking something. So turning something from thought into words. And it's almost like you've been practicing like what you want to say, or practicing how to break away from someone or set boundaries with someone. And I feel that because you've been kind of going through this for a while, it was kind of blocking this lighter energy, which is your soul energy, right? And I feel that's also where the strength tested comes in, because this is literally a test for you to set those boundaries. But once you do that one time, you go from your strength being tested to becoming the chiefess, where you have that power and you no longer fear saying what you want or what you need. And then you have the Four of Wands. Yeah. So first of all, the energy feels so much lighter here, and you're celebrating something. And remember how I said once you set those boundaries, then you open up the pathway for new energies to come in, new people, new friends, new networks. Possibly, you know, some of you could be getting a new job or something like that, because with the partnerships, right, a working environment is, so if you are employed by somebody, maybe your boss is unbearable, and so you're going to be, you know, joining a new organization, and your coworkers are much better, your boss is much better, or maybe you own a company and you're just not feeling it with some of your employees. Maybe they're not, you know, their standards, their, you know, their work isn't up to par. And so you're going to let them go, and you're going to bring in new people. So, and those are just examples. It just came to my mind. And so, you know, that's just kind of something for you to see metaphorically. But there's definitely, I'm seeing new connections being made, and they're very, very strong connections. And they're these new energies of these new people coming in, their values match yours. They have, like, they're just on the same wavelength as you. Then we have the Six of Cups. Yes, this makes so much sense, because what I'm seeing with the Six of Cups is that you are getting what you deserve, because I feel that you're a very giving person, and perhaps you gave too much, or perhaps you trusted the wrong people, or you believed in the wrong people, whatever it is. And I feel it was just so incredibly emotionally draining that you just had to take a time out. Okay. But here, do you see how, so let me back up just a second. So with the Four of Wands, this is like the new connections that you're making. And then we go into the Six of Cups, where it feels very reciprocal. Okay. So I'm seeing the reciprocity here, where everybody has their wand up in the air. Everybody's really happy and putting in equal effort. You can see that with all the colors up here. And it's a very cohesive, pleasant environment, okay? Whereas the prior energies that you were around, it was creating this type of energy, a lot of worry and like stifling your energy and your spirit. So do you see how different these two are? Much, much brighter and lively here. And so with the Six of Cups, it's very reciprocal, okay? You're giving, the other people are giving, everyone's receiving, okay? And I think that this is kind of a very welcome surprise. Kind of like I said earlier, if you go to the cafe and you end up meeting people, or you start a new job and it just so happens that there's just these amazing, lovely people there, and you just love like this new environment. And when that happens, this starts to fade away. And then when you think about this, you're like, ooh, you know, I don't ever want to be back in that energy again. But this, you got the ball rolling because you finally stood up for yourself and you said no more, and you're taking care of yourself. And so, see, I keep seeing that rose quartz, and I'm seeing it like by your heart chakra. And before, your heart chakra here was kind of dampened a little bit, but now it's shining so brightly that now you're attracting other energies and other people that have that same kind of heart chakra, that same kind of energy. So yeah, things just like, there's changes coming in for you, but they're so positive, and it just feels like such a healing time for you. And then we have the Seven of Cups. Okay, so this is kind of what I said when I was showing you the difference between your energy in, I think it was the Four of Wands, and then definitely the Nine of Swords. Yeah, it was. How this is very, very bright, and this is like just, it's like your soul was being pushed down a little bit, is how I'm seeing it in my mind. And so with the Seven of Cups, this is showing a little bit of that, where you're like, ew, like anytime you see something or you feel something, which is really important, like meeting new people or being in new situations, and you're like, oh no, that looks better, but it feels the same as this energy over here. So I feel like you're going to be more discerning and more in tune to that type of energy. And it carries over, because I feel that it started with some sort of partnership or relationship here, but now you're realizing it with situations as well. So like, let's say that you wanted to join some sort of social group, right? And you're like, well, let me look into this. Let me check this out. And something about it just gives you that kind of ick that you had over here. So not only are you feeling that energy with people, but you're also feeling that energy now with like places, things, and situations. And so when you recognize that, now you have the ability to say, no, I'm going to pass on that, right? Because you're being loyal to yourself, and you're very, very strong now. Which, once again, by saying no to certain things, then that closes that door, but it opens up the opportunity for those positive things to come in. So I feel like you're like this magnet for positive energy and positive situations. And I feel like it just kind of flows, right? It starts flowing in all areas of your life. The Page of Wands, yeah. Look at what's really standing out to me is the beautiful yellow up here, because I feel like you're shining so brightly, and your energy is just very, like, your energy is very charismatic. Whereas here, you still have that charisma and that energy. It was just something was like suppressing it, but you have released this, okay? And I keep seeing with the creative expression, there's some of you might be taking like some sort of painting class or something like that. You know how they have the, what are those called, where you go and you sip wine or something like that, and you do the paintings. I can't, it's sip and something. I sip and paint. I don't know what it's called. But I'm seeing something like that, where you could, it's like you're doing fun things. You're having fun, and it's not so heavy like it used to be. Yeah. And it just seems like you're exploring things. Like now you have the time to try new things, try new hobbies, you know, take a walk somewhere you haven't taken a walk before. And you're just like, I mean, literally what I'm seeing, your energy is so much lighter. You're actually taking the time to enjoy the colors on the tree, and to like kind of quite literally smell the flowers, and just enjoy life and enjoy every moment that you have. And it's like this sense of lightness that's coming in, but I'm also getting that from these other people that you're around. Whereas before it just felt so heavy and like stale. Really heavy and stale was the energy before. And then you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, I feel like you're rebuilding your life or something. And look, here's a glass of wine. Wasn't I just talking about the paint and sip or whatever it's called? That is funny. You're tending to yourself. You're very, very nurturing to yourself and to other people who are deserving of that, people who aren't sucking the life out of you like was happening here with the Nine of Swords. I feel like you had like an energy vampire in your life or something like that. It just feels like, oh, something was just draining your energy. And I feel like this is going to be a process for you, because I feel that you're learning how to take care of yourself instead of taking care of other people or situations that weren't yours to take care of. Okay. So I do feel like this is a little bit of a learning process for you, but Spirit is saying that you're going to do a great job. And I just see you like maybe picking up different hobbies or something like that, doing things that really nourish your soul. And you're much, much more grounded, much more grounded. Your energy is flowing. Because when I look at the energy here, I don't feel your energy, it's flowing, but it's not flowing that well, okay? But all the other cards, it's flowing just like this energy is flowing up here. Okay, let me see what else. I feel like there's something else with this card, but we'll see as we go along. Oh my gosh, now you have the Nine of Pentacles. That is so amazing. You're taking care of yourself. Some of you are healing from something. Like I said earlier, there definitely seems to be some sort of like emotional or mental aspect to this. Some of you may be healing from some sort of abusive situation with a boss or family, romantic relationship, something like that. Something that really kind of made you feel down on yourself a little bit. But I'm definitely seeing healing. And a lot of this healing, so I do see you doing stuff with other people here, kind of things perhaps outside of your comfort zone, but they're fun things. Like you enjoy getting out there and doing these things. So you are doing things with other people. However, the time that you spend by yourself is very much quality time where I just see you healing from something. And enjoying spending time by yourself. Maybe you're even finding new hobbies that you're doing by yourself, like you're tending to a garden here. Well, I mean, you're tending to the grapes, but you know, tending to a garden, maybe reading, just it's very peaceful and very grounding, whatever it is that you're doing. And I feel like that sets the stage for like the rest of your life, because I feel you carry this grounding and this self-healing and self-care with you for the rest of your life. And then you attract people with that same energy, you know, people who do the same thing and people who understand that you need time to yourself, and that the way like your self-care may not be someone else's self-care, but that's okay. The Devil card. I feel like this was the energy you had before. This is why you felt so suppressed or controlled, or like your spirit was being dampened. I don't know how else to say it. Like I keep seeing it's like someone pushing your spirit down like more and more every day. It's not a good feeling. When I look at this Devil card, I feel that some of you had a job where you were making really good money. Or, you know, maybe it wasn't like spectacular money. I mean, it could have been, but you may have been very comfortable there in the sense of finances, but your boss or the job that you had was so incredibly toxic, so toxic, that you would go home every day and you would feel like this Nine of Swords. Or it could just be people around you that you did not want around you, but you also didn't know how to exit from a situation, okay? So, you know, whatever the situation was, because, you know, with here we have partnerships and one-on-one relationships. To me personally, that doesn't have to be another person. It could be a situation. That's just how I personally read. But I do feel like there were other people involved somehow, but it's like the main problem could have been a job, and then somebody that you work with could have been the secondary problem. So if that makes sense. And it doesn't have to have anything to do with work. I'm just using an example. So you're breaking free from this. You are no longer afraid to stand up to this devil back here and say, hey, no more. I'm setting my boundaries. And look at what is right above this, the Four of Wands. So do you see the difference in the energy of the people? Here, people are very suppressed. They're sitting down. They look terrified. And this devil here is controlling the situation. But here, And even the cats are worried here, okay? But up here, the energy is flowing. The cats are having fun. It's so much different. The Three of Wands, yes, this makes so much sense. This is what I've been talking about. So it first starts with you and taking care of yourself. When you are ready, I see you stepping out, and this is you manifesting and calling in new things, things that appreciate you, these reciprocal things that I'm seeing with the Six of Cups. And I think you're going to be pleasantly surprised with how things shift and how things just kind of fall in your lap and come together. Because I keep seeing that you're meeting somebody by chance, or you're like, you overhear a conversation. Let's say you're standing in line at that cafe I mentioned earlier, and you overhear a conversation. You're like, oh, excuse me, I just happened to overhear. And then you just start talking with whoever else was in line, and it just sparks this friendship or something like that. The Six of Wands, yeah. So do you see again how you're around people who cheer you on? You're around people who appreciate you. When you do give your energy to other people, they are very much appreciative of it. You see this person here? Versus the energy that you had here with the Devil card. So when we look at these three cards right here, we're getting a clear picture of what's going on. This is your old situation. And then a little bit of this one where you heal. Here you're calling in something new, and here you are receiving exactly what you deserve. And it feels so much better. Because I feel that you're very grateful for all of these new situations, even when you are giving your energy to others who can't necessarily give back at the moment. You know that it's a genuine exchange of energy, whereas over here, it was not genuine, because here you were giving, and you knew that this other entity was taking. Whereas here, you could be giving, and someone can't necessarily give back, but there's a sense of gratitude, which we don't have here. And then the Moon card. This is really interesting, because the first thing that I saw in my mind when I turned this over is that you're writing your own story, and you don't care if you can't see the ending. You're just starting over. You're starting new. You're doing new things. You're taking risks. You're doing things that are outside of your comfort zone. And you don't care how you look. You don't care if you make mistakes. All you care about is that you have this sense of freedom, and that you're happy, and that you are creating your own path. And look at this, how you have the cat here. I feel like this is kind of showing how you started. So you started out this journey when you were still in the energy of the Devil and the Nine of Swords, is this cat here. But when you come out of this energy, you are this cat right here. So I'm just going to turn this over for a second, and literally it's reversed, but we're not looking at it reversed, right? We're just looking at how strong this cat is here. And so it's kind of like the Strength card, where you're becoming this lion, right? So you're coming into your nurturing energy, but it's like kind of like a mama bear energy, where you're very nurturing and caring, but you're also extremely protective of your energy and of these new energies that are around you. So that is what I see for you. I hope you enjoyed this reading. If you did, please like and subscribe. And if you ever want to book a personal reading with me, you can do that on my website, which is linked below. Thank you so much for watching.